You already know what it is. Lethal Talent 24, die bombing at you with some Eagles content. Yo, so uh, the Los Angeles Rams ended up getting Jalen Ramsey for 2 first-round picks and a 4th-round pick. Now, I'm just going to try to make this as short as possible. I'm disappointed, but even though Howie tried, I'm disappointed because he didn't come through. Howie didn't come through for us, and that's just it. He had 2 opportunities to make this team better with Jadeveon Clowney, which that would have been much easier getting him in here than Ramsey, right? So he passed or missed on Jadeveon Clowney, and he didn't get Jalen Ramsey in here. Now, you could talk Super Bowl. That was 2 years ago. We won the Super Bowl 2 years ago. It's time to move past this. We were supposed to be dominant in 2018. We weren't. We were limping along. We were supposed to be dominant this year. We're not. We're limping along. Our brains, or at least someone that would check Doug Peterson, is in Indianapolis right now. Then you have Jim Schwartz, who has no pass rush, and these teams, these offensive coordinators know how to defend against our defensive scheme since 2017. When they had all that tape. When everybody looked past us on 2017, nobody took us seriously, then we ended up in the Super Bowl. As soon as we won the Super Bowl, everybody started keying in on us. That's all they talked about in 2018 was everybody's gunning for the Eagles. Everybody's gunning for the Eagles, right? They knew how to defend us or offensively scheme against us because they saw Tom Brady shred us. And ever since then, everybody's been doing the exact same thing. Anybody with tools was able to do that. And it's mind-boggling to me. It's mind-boggling to me when you have opportunities. Yes, Howie tried. I get that. What I don't get is that he failed. He failed. And, you want to talk about getting new draft picks or anything like that, or, our defensive line is old. I'm sorry. Nobody had a problem when we brought in Malik Jackson, who was in his 30s, right? Michael Bennett was old, but he was producing. Where's Derek Barnett? Oh, he's hurt. And he gets paid just like everybody else. Fletcher Cox, hurt. He's making he's a multi-million-dollar defensive tackle. He's making multi-million dollars. Has he been the dominant defensive tackle in the league? Well, he's injured. He gets paid to produce and not having any excuses. If he is as injured as everybody says he is, he shouldn't be out on the field. Point blank and period. And I love Fletch. But if you take away, Brandon Graham has been one of the bright spots on this team. Hassan Ridgeway is coming up. But you take away Brandon Graham and Fletcher Cox, and in these offenses max protect, they have all day to throw. All day. And I expect the Cowboys to do that to us. I expect them to do that. Because these teams know, if anything, the Vikings showed the blueprint how to stop our just measly pass rush. We can stop the run. Yay, we're first in that. But we're dead last. And we're dead last in coverage. And that's where Jalen Ramsey would have helped. And, we're talking about wanting to get younger, but Howie Roseman keeps bringing in these old dudes. Hate to say it, but Vinny Curry's old. Malik Jackson's old. And everybody was like, oh, he's a genius. He bringing in really good players past their prime or just about to get out of it. Then again, it's not fair to say it, but Malik Jackson, only played 1 game. Only played 1 game. He got injured and out for the rest of the season. But has Howie drafted a star cornerback? Has Howie ever drafted a star cornerback? It doesn't matter. And we're talking about, if you ever pay attention, outside of line or offensive linemen, obviously outside of a quarterback, obviously outside of a defensive end, Brandon Graham, even though Brandon Graham didn't work out in his first stint here, he had to go get his craft right, get his mind right, because he was dealing with an injury. Then when we brought him back, that's when he was really good. It wasn't when he was drafted that he was good. because they gave up on him and then they brought him back. But I'm sorry, but between Donnell Pumphrey, Mac Hollins, Shelton Gibson, Clayton Thorson, all these guys, well, they're projects, but they're still draft picks. Undrafted free agent Trey Burton, that was Chip Kelly. He was an undrafted free agent. That was Chip Kelly that brought him in. Chip Kelly got in Marcus Smith. That was a first-round draft pick, right? And that was the year Howie was in that corner office near the janitor room or what have you. But regardless, yeah, we won a Super Bowl. Howie brought in some guys that won the Super Bowl, but I mean, it's 2 years ago. It's 2 years ago. What has he done to solidify our cornerback system? To make it stronger? Nothing. He's done nothing. The Rams lost Akeem Talib, and they went out and replaced him with Jalen Ramsey after trading Marcus Peters. All these other corners that were out there, and you mean to tell me we couldn't get them? We can't get Xavier Howard. No moves have been made since then. So what makes you believe, what is out there that tells you that Howie really is going to make a move? Because I can pretty much see it from here that they're just going to be complacent. We get rid of Zach Brown. We cut him, even though we're just about to face Cowboys, and they like to run the ball. Now you expecting Duke Riley, Nate Gary, and Camus to stop them? Even though Zach Brown looked like a train wreck against the Vikings, he's still a solid run defender. He just trashing coverage. And they knew that going in. They knew that bringing him in, but we still brought him in. Nigel Bradham's hurt. So all these moves that Howie made during the offseason, getting these old players, right? These old players. We brought back Timmy Jernigan, but, they took a risk out on him. He ended up injured. And he's young. He gave up on Timmy Jernigan because of his back, but then signed Malik Jackson, an older player, who probably had about 2 good years left anyway. If not, he was already on the decline, because Jacksonville had benched him for a reason. They won't bench you if you are good and you're producing at a high level. He said he don't know why. I didn't see anything in the Washington game that made me think that he was a dominant player, or he's still that dominant player. His good years were in Denver. His real good years was in Denver in the first couple years in Jacksonville. So, I mean, Howie doesn't deserve any disrespect. Don't get me wrong. I don't want people to disrespect. But he had, if anybody is upset, like I'm in between, but if anybody is really upset with Howie, he deserved the criticism. He deserves it. He deserves it because he had an opportunity to get some talent on this team, and he did not come through. Because that's what you're supposed to do as a GM. And I understand it's not as easy. It's not like you could just go out and get guys. I understand that. I understand you have to look for, your future. But, what did the Atlanta Falcons do? Now, regardless of what the record is, we know that they have a bona fide star-studded wide receiver on this team, or on their team, that has been a dominant force in the league for years. The Eagles will never do that. And I saw them not going. Like I said, I knew they weren't going to get Ramsey, but it's disappointing when somebody goes all out to get Jalen Ramsey. And you can say whatever you want about Tom Coughlin and all that stuff. He doesn't like the Eagles. GMs don't care about other teams. They care about what makes them better, right? So, because you can't, it's business. You can't take stuff personal. What did the Eagles front office really do to Tom Coughlin? Nothing. Nothing. So he has no beef with them. He's like, oh, it's just a team. Stop with that. If I'm a businessman, I ain't worried about, when I was a coach, they did this to me and blah, 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 blah. I expect that. But if I'm trying to make a deal to make my team better and I can get 2 first-round picks and a 4th out of you, then damn it, you did a good job. A great job. And I had to get rid of one of my main star-studded players to do it, right? But guess what? I have 3 opportunities to get it. And we all, to replace him. And you say what you want about Jacksonville, but they're the ones that drafted Jalen Ramsey. They had that right. I don't understand, because Howie has had his time in this league over almost about 20 years, and he has never drafted a star-studded quarterback. A star-studded cornerback. He never drafted him. And what? So I'm just supposed to be like, yeah, who cares? We'll just, we'll go with what we got. It's not a sign of weakness, man. It's actually a smart move to go for it all. If he can't help you win a Super Bowl now, we better win a Super Bowl. Well, you already know there's no guarantees. We gave up a 4th-round pick for Jay Ajayi, right? Nobody knew it was going to go for a Super Bowl because it was a cheap move, no biggie, and we ended up winning the Super Bowl then, right? So that was okay, but we have, if we give up 2 first-round picks or whatever, we have to win a Super Bowl. It has to be a guaranteed Super Bowl. And if you already know football, it's not guaranteed. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say, man. The disrespect for Howie is not needed, but the criticism definitely needs to be there. Now, Jalen Ramsey wasn't coming to the Eagles, but I mean, you got to be disappointed in some aspects. And if you can name a star-studded quarterback, excuse me, I got a sinus infection, but star-studded cornerback that Howie has drafted, I'll say that I'm wrong. I have no problem saying that I'm wrong. No problems at all. So if you guys can come up with somebody that Howie has drafted, you let me know in the comments. But until then, I'm just saying he can't draft cornerbacks. So EAGLES Eagles, and that's what's up. You guys take care. But let me know what you think in the comments about this. Peace.